Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Look, I'm entirely unclear what that has to do with the Peloponnesian War. And I do have a confession, harking back to where this debate started. I can't even spell Peloponnesian. I wonder whether I should give up my citizenship. Then I thought, oh, well, I wouldn't be allowed to be here, but then as it turns out, actually I would, because apparently not being a citizen is no longer a qualification to be here. This attack on Australian citizenship, even for this minister, is a shocker. And I think it's starting to dawn on those opposite, judging by who is not here speaking, the member for Banks, the member for Chisholm, member for Deakin didn't have anything to say, that this is another Dutton stunt gone wrong. It's based on a lie, as we heard, of national security. It's a stunt gone wrong by the Minister for Immigration.
Thank you. The member for Bruce. I call the member for Petrie.
The member for Bruce should address members by their correct title.
He did correct himself, member for Petrie. I call him for Bruce.
The wedge that's backfired. The Senate committee, we didn't hear anything in the Assistant Minister's remarks or anyone opposite about what their own senators have said of this bill. They've acknowledged that it's divisive, that it's damaging to individuals, to people in my electorate. 55% of people in my electorate are born in another country. This is bread and butter issues for people in my community. They didn't say anything about the Senate report where government senators admitted that the legislation is flawed and recommended major changes, but then kind of said, oh, but we should pass it anyway. That would be lipstick on a pig. 14,000 submissions opposing, 2 in favour. We're still passing bets over here whether the Assistant Minister actually wrote the submission for the Australian for Constitutional Monarchists. It's a thing. But the community have every expert are rightly outraged. This is an extremist bill. The truth was revealed. Its extreme, ridiculous English level through IELTS 6 is university level, and every expert submission from Melbourne University, from Monash University, from the people who understand what this test actually is, make that clear. It's elitists. Tens of thousands of people in my electorate, I dare say, who are great Australian citizens, would fail this test. It's also made clear in the Senate committee report and the submissions to the Senate committee that this would be the hardest, the most impossible English test in the entire world for citizenship. That's a fact. Have a read of the report. People in my community, people in many multicultural communities, have said quite clearly this is racist legislation. That's what's being said in the multicultural press around Australia. It's extreme. It's retrospective. Hundreds of thousands of people are affected. Even the government senators acknowledged a current trend, unfortunate like this, of legislation by media release. They've acknowledged the anger in the community, and they made a clear recommendation that the government has to back down and not make this retrospective, at the very least. They also made a clear recommendation that the required standard, I quote for their recommendation, should not be so high as to disqualify from citizenship many Australians who have in the past, and with a more basic competency in the English language, have proven to be valuable members of the Australian community. So that's your own government senators agreeing with Labor's fundamental point about this bill. We've also acknowledged this bill imposes unreasonable delays. You already have to be in this country for 4 years to become an Australian citizen. People pay tax, they study, they work, they raise a family, they fall in love, they do all the things which are quintessential Australian experiences for year after year after year. The government, through all of this debate, has not answered the key question. How does it make us a better, safer community to have hundreds of thousands of permanent residents living here banned from citizenship? Because it doesn't. The final point I'd make is that the Minister for Immigration, if you read the betting agency of those opposite, may well be the next Prime Minister before the next election. So you'd think he's going to be politically smart. Well, we had a meeting in Springvale Town Hall where 500 people turned up about a month ago. They weren't all non-citizens. Most of them were citizens. Many of them were Liberal voters. They were outraged because they care about their neighbours. They're married to non-citizens that have disrupted their family plans. But we should send a thank you note, in my view, because now, finally, from the 4 months of this debate, every non-English speaking background person, everyone from another country, every migrant, even your own party members and supporters in a meeting I held in the seat of Chisholm, people who've now quit the Liberal Party over this, people who made the mistake of helping the member for Chisholm get elected and are now helping us, they now know what you truly think of them. They're not good enough to be Australians. They're not welcome. They're not wanted. So at least the Minister for Immigration has been honest for once and given people a chance to know where they truly stand with this government.